Hey guys, I wanted to document real quick what happens if you don't thin out your persimmons. Well, I should say if you don't thin out your flowers just in general. So this is early Fuyu, and if you remember the videos from last season, this one was really heavily covered with flowers. Okay, now check it out. Basically nothing. I actually found a couple on there, but that's about it. Let's see if I can remember where they are. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, so here's a couple, but I've looked all over the tree and that's about all I see. So I've heard from various people online that persimmons like to get into this every other year cycle. So if you don't want yours to get into this every other year cycle, try and make an effort, and this is basically to remind myself, try and make an effort to pull off some of the buds. And I know it's an unpleasant thing to do and you don't really want to do it, but if you don't, then the next year is kind of like a recovery year, give or take. And I'm looking all over this thing and I don't see anything. Oops, don't want to get the bees mad. This is an autumn olive and bees really like it. Check it out. Lots of flowers. They smell nice too. They have this like interesting perfume that really carries. So anyway, that's basically the deal. Persimmons need to be thinned out a little bit. Here's one more flower. So they're there, but they're at like maybe 5%, I would guess, about, sorry, there's a plane going overhead. Probably 5% of what it was last year, maybe even less than that. I don't know. It's quite a bit of a drop. Let's see if there's any over here. No, it doesn't look like it. Wow. All right, well, there you go. It really wants to over and underbear. And the overbearing thing isn't all that great either, because I thought last year, I'm going to get all this fruit. It's amazing. Which I did, but a lot of it, not a lot of it, but a bunch of it, like you couldn't really taste any sweetness in the fruit. So here's one too. I think it just didn't have enough leaves to power that many fruit, or to, you know, ripen them to enough sweetness to make it worthwhile. I don't know. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling, but the short story is that persimmons need some thinning, and it's not quite like my apple trees and my Asian pear trees. I've let them overbear and they don't seem to, like, nothing bad seems to happen. Like the apples still taste pretty good. They're smaller, but you just get a lot of them. It seems like, and I'm making an overgeneralization because I only have 1 year of data point here, that maybe for whatever reason Fuyu can't make enough sugar to support that many fruit. It could just be like a young tree thing, and maybe as it gets older, this just won't be a problem. Maybe it'll grow out of it. So that's really Fuyu. You're gonna check out Nikita's Gift. This one's doing, I think, twice as many or more flowers as last year. So like this is the one I'm gonna have to probably thin, assuming that it even holds on to these things. Check it out. It's like 1, 2, 3. Another one, like 5 more here, a couple more there, a couple more there. So like this one's gonna be covered in flowers. And then the pattern with Nikita's Gift has been, I'll show you what it looks like now. The pattern with Nikita's Gift has been that it sets a whole lot of fruit, and then it drops like most of them. So that's a different pattern, right? It's different than Nikita's Gift. It's different than Fuyu. It's different than Jiro. They tend to hold on to them even if they can't support that many fruit, and they won't even fully, they won't even fill them out with sugar. Nikita's Gift seems to just give up on them, which is interesting. I heard this is kind of an early trait of this tree, but it is starting to look more tree-like now. I'm guessing it's probably 10 feet maybe. I don't know, hard to say. It's getting there though. So assuming this thing doesn't drop all these fruit, they ripen in stages, it seems like. So like there's flowers, and then they'll set little buds, and then they'll kind of like hang out for a little while, and then they'll swell, hang out for a little while, and then they'll swell again and ripen, I think, if I remember right. So I think the plan's going to be, if it holds on to a lot, I'm going to drop probably a bunch of them. And you know, there's a lot of rule of thumb here. Like you might say, okay, within a hand width, I might let this ripen like 2 or something. And that would probably be enough. I mean, it's a small tree. You see it, it's not very big. Saija is doing the same thing this year. It's got like tons and tons of flowers on it. So I'm trying to be mindful this year and not let them go crazy, because then we'll get into the boom bust cycle. Well, you know, it has its pluses and minuses. If the tree can actually support that many and ripen them all, I guess it's okay, but it's going to create a huge amount of work for me. Check it out. This one's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. It looks like some of the flowers actually fell off. There's a 6th one. Yeah, same thing over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5. So like if I estimate there's like 5 on every little tip here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, it's probably got 100 fruit on it easily, 100 flowers on it easily. Check it out. You kind of see it. So this one's also looking to bear like really heavily. I'll probably have to do the same thing with this one. This one's a bit of a larger tree. It's in a good position. You can see it. It's like it's getting to be a pretty tall tree now at this point. It's in a good position. It gets a lot of sun. I don't think it gets blocked by this willow over here like the early Jiro does. So I think this one might be able to hold on to its fruit. I think last year it made like 2. I think the year before it made like 1 or 2, maybe 3. So this one I've actually been looking forward to. It makes really good hoshigaki, dried persimmons. So yeah, beautiful tree. Really enjoy these persimmons. They're really nice trees. Multifunctional. Eventually I'll be able to sit under it. Like, there is some shade now at this point, not a lot. It's cooler. Yeah, so they're making fruit, they're making shade. They're probably helping out the wildlife. The branches at some point will probably support birds. Birds will be able to make a nest in there. They're supporting us by making fruit. And at the end of its life, probably who knows how many years from now, these are related to ebony. So, I mean, they're in the ebony family, so the wood inside the middle of it should be really beautiful wood. But that's a last resort. Anyway, just wanted to make a quick reminder for myself to thin flowers and thin fruit. All right.